But Irving wasn't the only one. Other players, like Jokic and Brooks, also found ways to break free. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on how each of them managed to escape LeBron's gravitational pull. Some of what you're about to hear is wild. Just wait until you hear how close Irving allegedly came to being dragged into the Diddy mess. Yeah, it gets dark. Before we get there, though, we have to start with Kawhi Leonard. His story belongs at the very top of this list, and once you understand it, you'll know why. To fully grasp it, we need to rewind to the summer of 2019, when one quiet decision triggered a ripple effect no one fully appreciated at the time. This is the side of the NBA they rarely talk about. At that moment, Kawhi had just pulled off the unthinkable. He spent a single season in Toronto, lifted a franchise that had never tasted a championship, hit one of the most ice-cold playoff shots ever, neutralized Giannis, dominated the finals, and walked away with both a title and a finals MVP. Validation? He already had it. He wasn't chasing respect anymore, he was deciding his destiny. The choices in front of him were simple. He could stay in Toronto and cement himself as a forever legend. He could join the Lakers, linking up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis to create what looked like a guaranteed dynasty. Or he could choose the Clippers, long stuck in the Lakers' shadow, and build something entirely on his own terms. From the outside, the Lakers felt inevitable. Bigger spotlight, bigger brand. So they cleared cap space, delayed moves, and treated Kawhi's free agency like he was the final piece to complete the gauntlet. But here's where the narrative shifts. Insiders, from Raptors executives to league reporters, kept pointing to the same truth. Kawhi had zero interest in walking into a hierarchy that was already locked in place. And with LeBron it always is. Think of it less like a team and more like a closed system. The roles are fixed, the storylines are controlled, and anyone who doesn't fit either falls in line or fades out. The ball, the leadership, the media praise, it all funnels through one person. Kawhi saw that. And more importantly, he had just proven he didn't need it. True to form, he never said any of this outright. That's not his style. Publicly, he stayed neutral, calm, almost robotic. In a 2019 interview, he emphasized patience and made it clear he didn't want to lead anyone on. He was avoiding noise, avoiding chaos. But the tells were still there. That same year, when asked about players he admired, Kawhi named Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. LeBron's name never came up. And whenever it did in other conversations, Kawhi shut it down instantly.
You sure this ain't live? Because I'm tired of pretending LeBron isn't an evil man.
When it comes to the GOAT debate, everyone knows how aggressively LeBron has worked to keep himself front and center. He's campaigned for it, shaped the narrative, and positioned every move to reinforce his case. But everything changed when the Clippers did what the Lakers either couldn't, or wouldn't, do. They didn't ask Kawhi to squeeze himself into an already established kingdom. They handed him the keys and built the entire structure around him. The trade for Paul George wasn't about creating a hierarchy or stealing the spotlight. It was about balance. George wasn't an attention magnet. He was an elite player, a true running mate. Someone who could share the load without hijacking the story. That mattered. Kawhi didn't want a co-star whose presence dictated the offense, the messaging, and the legacy. He wanted a partner, not a headline. Because let's be real, if Kawhi had joined the Lakers and won championships alongside LeBron, those rings would have been credited to LeBron first. Kawhi's historic run would have been reduced to a supporting chapter, not the main story. And that was never going to fly. He wasn't about to turn the peak of his career into a footnote. So when people say Kawhi Leonard chose the Clippers, they're only telling part of the story. What he really chose was space. Space from the endless spotlight. Space from the pressure to reshape his game, his personality, and even his voice to orbit around one dominant figure. He made that choice so decisively that even at the height of his value, with all the influence and backchannel power in the league, LeBron couldn't pull him in. And that shook people. But Kawhi wasn't the only superstar who sidestepped that gravity. To understand the next one, you have to look at the quietest MVP the NBA has ever produced. Nikola Jokic isn't just elite, he's almost anti-celebrity. This is a guy who would rather be riding horses and drinking coffee in a small Serbian town than starring in LeBron's media ecosystem. You've probably heard the rumors. Luka Doncic pushing for Jokic to come to the Lakers. Picture it, Luka and Jokic on the same roster. Add in the whispers about Giannis, and on paper, that trio would completely break the league. But here's the reality, Jokic shut it down immediately. Everything about his life suggests he wouldn't go near that situation under any circumstances. And if you really follow him, this makes perfect sense. While most NBA stars spend their off-seasons on yachts, private jets, and brand campaigns, Jokic disappears to Chalmers, Serbia, a town of roughly 40,000 people, where he trains racehorses, a lifelong passion he's never let go of. The man owns around 40 horses and talks about them like family. And there was one moment in 2023 that captured exactly where his heart is. Jokic had just won the NBA championship, and his reaction said everything.
I like MJ.
MJ or LeBron?
Mike.
LeBron or Kobe?
Kobe.
Watching Jokic after winning the championship, it almost felt like he viewed it the same way someone finishes a job they were always supposed to complete. No fireworks, no chest pounding, just done. Mission accomplished. But fast forward a few months and the contrast couldn't have been sharper. One of his horses won a race back in Serbia, and Jokic completely broke down. He ran onto the track, wrapped the horse and the jockey in a hug, and celebrated like he'd just experienced the greatest moment of his life. That tells you everything. That's not a guy who wakes up one morning thinking, yeah, I'd love to join Team LeBron. And it's not just about horses. Jokic lives in a way that would feel foreign, almost uncomfortable, to most NBA superstars. Back home in Somber, he rides his bike through town, runs pickup games with friends he's known since childhood on an outdoor court he helped build, and lives under an unspoken community rule. No pictures, no autographs. People protect his peace. That's how grounded he is. So when rumors started floating about Jokic possibly joining the Lakers, his core fans already knew the answer. He wasn't entertaining it. His entire life is designed to shield what matters to him. A world untouched by viral clips, non-stop debate shows, and contract-driven drama. And let's be clear, this isn't about fear or insecurity. Jokic isn't ducking the spotlight because he can't handle it. He's a three-time MVP, a finals champion, and he's gone head-to-head with LeBron's teams and beaten them. He has the stats, the dominance, and the skill to stand next to anyone in league history. In fact, in one matchup against the Lakers this season, Jokic alone earned more free throws and played more efficiently than the entire Lakers roster combined. Intimidation has nothing to do with it. The difference is simple. LeBron's world is built for spectacle. Jokic's world is built for meaning. One thrives on being everywhere. The other thrives on being left alone. Put them side by side, and it becomes obvious why Jokic would never want to be pulled into that ecosystem. But while some players escape LeBron's orbit by choosing a quieter life, others don't get out so cleanly. That brings us to someone who went from NBA champion to public scapegoat the moment he stepped into LeBron's system. Mario Chalmers. If you ever want a textbook example of how the LeBron machine consumes teammates, look no further. Chalmers hit big shots, ran the offense, did his job, and somehow still became the guy fans blamed whenever things went sideways. Welcome to the LeBron effect, where one man is untouchable and everyone else absorbs the damage. Chalmers joined Miami in 2008, right as the Heat were setting the stage for the Big Three era. By 2010 he was playing one of the most unforgiving roles in basketball, point guard on a LeBron-led finals team. And he delivered. He had real moments, like that massive corner three in Game 4 of the 2012 finals that helped swing the series. But here's what gets forgotten. Whenever the Heat struggled, Chalmers' mistakes were magnified. His missed shots looped endlessly on TV. His turnovers became talking points. Meanwhile, when LeBron struggled, like in the 2011 finals against Dallas, the narrative bent to protect him. He wasn't failing, he was adjusting. We were all just expected to nod along. It wasn't subtle. You could see it every big game. The camera angles, the commentary, the highlight packages. LeBron sat at the center of a protective bubble, and anyone outside it was fair game. Chalmers never complained publicly. He never threw teammates under the bus. But by 2015 he quietly walked away from Miami. Later he admitted he needed distance from a system that chews up role players. And the timing matters. He returned to the Heat in 2021, long after LeBron had left. In more recent interviews, Chalmers has reflected on how fear and respect in the league once revolved around Michael Jordan, and how, despite all of LeBron's influence, that same fear never really followed him.
Now you are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
Congratulations, Mike.
Next on the list is Paul George, and honestly his story makes Chalmers feel like a preview, not the main event. If Kawhi's exit was a silent power move, Paul George's path was a slow, grinding burn. It's one of the most overlooked narratives in modern NBA history. PG came up under bright lights. In Indiana he wasn't just a star, he was the guy. The face of the Pacers. The player many believed was destined to challenge LeBron for control of the Eastern Conference. And that's exactly where the problem started. Every meaningful playoff run ended the same way, running straight into LeBron. First with Miami, then with Cleveland. Year after year, George wasn't just trying to win. He was being evaluated against another man's legacy. And let's be real, that's a miserable position for any player who wants ownership over his own career. Then came the summer of 2017. The league expected the obvious move. Paul George to LeBron. Super team formation complete. Instead, PG shocked everyone by staying put in Oklahoma City alongside Russell Westbrook. On the surface, it was framed as loyalty, a belief in the roster, a commitment to unfinished business. But anyone who was actually paying attention knew better. That decision wasn't about geography or comfort, it was about distance. Just like Kawhi, Paul George has always played it cool in public. He kept his answers clean. Said he enjoyed OKC. Said the situation felt right. But the cracks showed when the conversation shifted to LeBron declaring himself the greatest of all time. PG didn't dance around it. He shut it down directly, saying LeBron hadn't done enough to crown himself the GOAT. And that moment mattered. Because it wasn't just a hot take, it was a signal. Paul George wasn't interested in orbiting someone else's legacy. He wanted his own story on his own terms.
Feared playing him the way that they feared some other stars.
It's the truth. Hear people talking, had they be like, yo, Jordan, it was a fear. Like, they call him Jesus.
Jump ahead to 2019, and Paul George did make his way to Los Angeles. But not that Los Angeles. He teamed up with Kawhi on the Clippers instead of joining the Lakers. And that detail matters. It proves he wasn't avoiding big markets or elite teammates. He just didn't want to play next to LeBron. After watching all of that unfold, the next story cuts even deeper. Because no one on this list was more exposed or came closer to being fully absorbed into the inner circle where LeBron controls the power than Kyrie Irving. People love to simplify Kyrie's exit from Cleveland. The usual story is ego, that he wanted his own team, that he couldn't handle sharing the spotlight. That version is easy, convenient, and endlessly recycled by the media. But if you look closer, it doesn't hold up. What Kyrie was really doing was trying to get out before it swallowed him. To understand why, you have to rewind. When Kyrie Irving was drafted first overall in 2011, Cleveland was his franchise. He was the centerpiece, the future. Every headline, every rebuild plan, every ounce of hope revolved around him. That was his identity. Then 2014 happened. LeBron James announced his return to Cleveland, and overnight the entire ecosystem flipped. Kyrie didn't just lose the spotlight, he lost control of his own narrative. He went from being the face of the franchise to being LeBron's co-star. And here's the part that rarely gets mentioned. Kyrie wasn't even informed that LeBron was coming back before the decision was finalized.
Who are you? Like, what have you done? Prove yourself first.
I had no idea, Irving later said. I found out LeBron was coming back the same way everyone else did, watching it happen in real time. No heads up. No conversation. No chance to prepare. Think about that for a second. You're the franchise cornerstone, the #1 pick, the face of the rebuild, and you learn the most important decision in team history wasn't discussed with you at all. As Kyrie put it, playing his entire career next to LeBron was never some long-term plan he'd signed up for. Now, to be fair, the results were historic. In 2016, they won a championship. Kyrie hit the shot that delivered Cleveland its first NBA title. But here's where things started to fracture. He did it as a co-star, and the coverage never let him forget it. The story wasn't Kyrie rising to the moment, it was Kyrie succeeding under LeBron's leadership. And for someone wired like Irving, that distinction mattered. It didn't help that LeBron often spoke about him publicly in a way that felt dismissive. In one interview, he referred to Kyrie as a kid. Small word, big message. By the end of the 2016-17 season, Kyrie asked out. The media rushed to explain it away: ego, jealousy, a desire to be the guy. Easy narrative. Clean narrative. But according to long-circulating rumors and insider chatter, there was more tension behind the scenes than anyone wanted to acknowledge. This is where things get murky and controversial. Around that time, stories began circulating about LeBron's wider Hollywood connections and social circles, including high-profile parties hosted by figures like Diddy. A photo made the rounds showing Kyrie on a boat with Diddy and other celebrities, fueling speculation. To be clear, none of this has ever been proven as wrongdoing, but within NBA rumor culture, the idea persisted that Kyrie felt uncomfortable with the direction things were going and wanted no part of that world. Whether true or exaggerated, the perception mattered. Kyrie's response was decisive: distance himself completely. He left Cleveland and made sure his future wasn't tied, personally or professionally, to LeBron's ecosystem. Since then, Kyrie has openly talked about searching for identity beyond basketball roles. In Boston, in Brooklyn, and beyond, he's emphasized leadership, autonomy, and defining success on his own terms. Critics call it ego. Others call it instability. But that's the surface-level take. The deeper read is that Kyrie refused to let his career and his values be shaped by systems he didn't believe in. And if Kyrie's exit was quiet and calculated, the next story is pure collision. Because Draymond Green didn't avoid LeBron's orbit, he challenged it head-on.